Hello everyone, this is part 3rd on sequence and infinite series. So today I am going to explain the theorems for calculating the limits of the sequences. So let's suppose you are given two sequences an and bn. These be two sequences of real numbers, and let's suppose both these sequences are convergent. So the first sequence, let's suppose this is converging to the real number a, and the second sequence bn, it is converging to the real number b. Then the sum of these two sequences will be approaching to the sum of their limits. Similarly, the difference of these two will approaching to the difference of their limits. Similarly, the product of these two sequences will be approaching to the product of the limits. So this is the sum and difference rule, this is product rule. Now the next is the quotient rule, means you can find out the limit of an by bn provided bn is non-zero. So it will be a by b provided b is non-zero. And similarly, the limit of constant multiple of the sequence an, it will be, you can take k to be outside and you can find out the limit of an, and since we know that this sequence is convergent, so this will be k times a. So these are the rules. This is sum and difference rule, this is product rule, this is quotient rule, and this is the constant multiple rule. So we can apply the limit formula and we can find out the limit of the sequences. So we are having two sequences over here. Both these sequences are the sequences of real numbers, and let's suppose both these sequences are convergent, so they are converging to the real number a and b. Then their sum is converging to the sum, the difference is converging to the difference, the product is converging to the product, the division is converging to the division, but provided the denominator is non-zero for each n and b. And also if there is some constant, you can take that constant to be outside, so that will be converging to k times a. So these are the rules for calculating the limit of the sequence. The next is the sandwich theorem for sequences. This theorem says that, let's suppose you are having three sequences an, bn and cn, be sequences of real numbers, and if we are having this relation that an is less than equal to bn is less than equal to cn, it holds for each n greater than equals to some fixed number capital N naught, and if the limit of an, this is known to us, let's suppose it is a, and the limit of cn, it is also a, both these limits are same, means both these sequences are convergent, they are converging to the number a, then this theorem says that the sequence which is between the an and cn, it also converges to the same number a. First of all, then this implies that bn sequence is convergent and it converges to the same limit, which is the limit of the sequence an as well as cn, right? So what this sandwich theorem says that, so basically this is a sandwich between two sequences, you are having one sequence, so behavior of this sequence will be same as that an and cn. Moreover, the limits are also same provided both these sequences have the same limits. So you are having three sequences of real numbers, and this is given that they satisfying this relation, and if sequence an and cn both are convergent and converging to the same number a, then the sequence bn, it is also convergent and converges to the same number a. Now just see, for example, let's suppose you have to find out the limit of the sequence sine 1 by n. We have to check the behavior of this sequence. As we know that sine theta, it lying between minus 1 by n, minus 1 and plus 1. Sorry, we have to check the behavior of sine n by n. Not sine 1 by n, it's sine n by n. As we know that sine n, it lying between minus 1 and plus 1. So sine n by n, it will lying between minus 1 by n and plus 1 by n. And both these sequences, they are going to 0 as n goes to infinity. So using this sandwich theorem, sine n by n, it also approaches to 0 as n going to infinity. So we can apply sandwich theorem over here and we get the limit of this sequence as n approaching to infinity. So the sequence sine n by n, it is convergent and it converges to 0. Now the next is, let's suppose you have to find out the limit for the sequence 1 by 2n minus 1 to the power n divided by 2 to the power n. We have to find out the limit of this sequence. Again, since we know that it is always lying between this and this sequence is going to 0 as n goes to infinity. This is also going to 0 as n goes to infinity, means minus 1 over 2n, this limit is 0, plus 1 by 2n, this limit is 0, right? So by using sandwich theorem, the sequence this, it is also convergent and it will be convergent to 0, means 0 is the limit of the sequence this. The next is the standard limits. So let's suppose you have to find out the limit of ln n by n. So we can find out this limit with the help of L'Hopital rule, as when you put n tending to infinity, this is infinity by infinity form, right? So this is infinity by infinity form. So since we know that both these functions are differentiable, so we can find out the limit in the terms of function. So first of all, we consider this as ln x upon x, where x is approaching to infinity. Since these two functions are differentiable, so we can differentiate the numerator as well as denominator. And now when you put x tending to infinity over here, you will have this is 0. So therefore the limit n approaching to infinity ln n by n, this is 0. So this is convergent and it converges to 0. Now just see one more. Let's suppose we have to find out the limit of n square root of n. Now what is this limit? Let's suppose we consider y to be x under root x. We write down this in the form of function and we have to find out this limit as x approaching to infinity. So we can take log to both sides and we will have this is ln y is equal to 1 by x into, because this is nothing, x to the power 1 by x. So this is ln of x, where x is approaching to infinity. Now this is ln x by x, so this is infinity by infinity. So we can apply the L'Hopital rule, means we can take the derivative of the numerator as well as denominator. So what is the derivative of ln x? This is 1 by x. What is the derivative of x? This is 1. Now when you put x tending to infinity, you will have this is 0. So what will be the value of y? So the value of y will be e to the power 0, which is 1. So what is the value of this limit? This is 1. So the limit of nth root of n will be 1 when n approaching to infinity. Now next find out the limit of x to the power 1 by n, where n is going to infinity, for every x strictly greater than 0. Now what is the limit of this? When you put n tending to infinity, you will have 1 by infinity, which is 0. So anything to the power, any positive number to the power 0, you will have this is 1. And you can show with the help of, again you can suppose that this is y. Now take the log to both side. You will have this is 1 by n into ln x. Okay. Now since this is independent of n, when you take n tending to infinity, this is some constant. 1 by infinity will give you 0. So y is equal to e to the power 0 implies that this is 1. So the limit of x to the power 1 by n, where n is going to infinity and x is positive, this is always 1. Now just see the next one. What is the limit of x to the power n whenever mod of x is strictly less than 1? So it will be 0. Now why this is 0? Because your x is strictly less than 1. For example, 1 by 2 half. Let's suppose x is half. So when you take 1 by 2 to the power n, you find out the limit. It will be 1 by infinity and you will have this is 0. So we can easily remember this thing, that the limit of x to the power n, where n is approaching to infinity and this number is less than, strictly less than 1, it is 0. Similarly, you can find out the limit of 1 plus x by n to the power n, and this comes out to be e to the power x for any x. Now how to prove this? Again you can suppose that y is the limit n approaching to infinity 1 plus x by n to the power n. Now you can take log to both sides and you will have this thing will be equal to, you can take this n to be in the denominator. So now just see, when you take n tending to infinity, this is ln1, which is 0. When you put n to be infinity, this is 1 by n, this is 0. So this is 0 by 0 form. Right? Again, you have to apply L'Hopital rule to find out the limit of this. Okay. So now you find out the limit of this. So this is ln 1 plus x by n divided by 1 by n. So now take its derivative with respect to n. So this will be 1 over 1 plus x by n into the derivative of this minus 1 upon n square into x. Similarly, take the derivative in the denominator with respect to n. You will have this as minus 1 upon n square. So this will be cancelled out. Right? You will left with x upon 1 plus x by n. So when you put n tending to infinity over here, you will have this is 0. So this is x upon 1 plus 0, which is x. Right? So what will be the value of y? It will be e to the power x. So therefore the limit n approaching to infinity 1 plus x by n to the power n is e to the power x. Right? Then The last standard limit will be the limit n approaching to infinity x to the power n over n factorial. This is 0 for any x. Now why this is happen? Now just see, in the denominator you will have n factorial, and here x is any fixed number, right? So you can write down n factorial as n into n minus 1, n minus 2 till up to 1. So in the denominator, if you take n to be common, you will have, this is just like n to the power n. But in numerator, this is x to the power n. Okay, so this is very very small than the denominator. So when you put n tending to infinity, you will have some fixed number divide by infinity, which gives you 0. Okay, so this is just behaving like n to the power n, and this is x to the power n. So basically this is x by n to the power n. This is some fixed number, this is very very large number, so n to the power n, this gives you 1 by infinity, which is 0, right? So you will have the limit of x to the power n over n factorial. It will be 0 for any x, either x is negative or positive. For any x, this limit will be 0. So once again, see the standard limits. The first is the limit of ln by n as n approaching to infinity, it is 0. The second is the limit of n to the power 1 by n, this is 1. The third is the limit of x to the power 1 by n, this is 1 for any x strictly greater than 0. The fourth one, the limit of n approaches to 0, x to the power n, this is 0 provided mod of x is strictly less than 1. The fifth one is the limit of 1 plus x by n to the power n is e to the power x for any x. And the limit of x to the power n over n factorial, this is 0 for any fixed x. So these are the standard limits which we have to remember to find out the limits for the sequences.